Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. Happy that you're here. So earlier this week, I shared a behind the scenes of the stash class, and I talked about the bridge system. Basically, use this first system. These trays I got from Target a long time ago. I think they're let me take one off. They are actually like stackable bathroom trays, I believe. So I had a bunch of those laying around because I've always liked to put projects or photos or, something in here, like the start of a project in these trays. So I've always used them, and now I can use them for this purpose. What I put in here was some products from the Happy Story Kit. My daughter is Sunshine, so I loved this card, and I thought about doing a project about her when I saw this card, then added some other pieces. I also have some film strips. Then I have this green card about hiking and some tree pieces. I also have this one that I kind of paired with a work photo. Then I have highlights, which I'm going to use to finish up 2022. Allie Edwards had these 5 pieces in one of her little containers, and I realized, I have those same things too, so it'd be great if I could find a story to use these. Maybe a project life story, I don't know. And then I really like this card right here, and I thought about using it on my traveler's notebook style pages, but I really don't like how it would split down the middle. So I have to rethink this one. So that is what is in my trays right now. I also have a few other things like set off to the side that didn't fit in these trays, and I know that's not part of the system. You're supposed to keep it in here, but I saw this card and it immediately made me think of a sunset hike I took with my husband on vacation last year, I believe. So I filed away this idea and then got the photos printed. So in this video, you're going to see me put together 3 projects. So the one about my daughter, the sunshine, and then my husband and I on a hike, and then me starting work in a traveler's notebook size. And when I say traveler's notebook, I don't mean the actual traveler's notebook size. Let me get it real quick. This is what I use to document myself. I started this last year. My dear friend Erica, she uses this style album. It's a half binder size, so 5.5 by 8.5 size, and I love it. It's a cheaper option than, say, traditional scrapbook albums. And this one I get is an Avery 2.5, I believe, but you can put a little label there, and there's of course a pocket. You could put embellishments in it, or not embellishments, but you could put like memorabilia. So this album I'm currently working on finishing. I have 1 page left and then I can share it with you guys, but I am able to get 4 months in here so far, and there is so many stories in here, so many stories, and I love this format. So this is what I mean when I say like TN size. Similar, but not totally the same. So these will be the me album, and then this will be for my daughter's album. Let's go ahead and get started on putting these together.
So the first one is going to be with this selfie of me at work. I think I was starting the first full week of work, so I was nervous but ready for this change in season of life. And I've also really, throughout the whole school year, enjoyed taking selfies of myself because it's been fun to kind of dress up again and not wear like gym clothes or comfy clothes. But anyways, I have this journal card from the Open Story Kit, and I thought it'd be really awesome to cut the labels apart. And I'm going to save the 2 green pieces as well that I cut off the journaling card. I'll also grab a banner that is the same green color, and I'm going to use both of those to kind of punch out shapes, and that way I can make clusters in different spots on this project and help the eye flow better. So my initial thought is to have the selfie and then the 3x4 journaling card and then the 3 labels. I also want to grab a few more embellishments, and with my new organization it's so much easier. I grabbed several neutral pieces like Brand New Day, Make It Happen, This Week, and I even found a really tiny black 8 that's like a chipboard, and I thought that was perfect since the month was October. And this is where I was looking for different circles that I might be able to use, and I really only found one that said this time and the number 8, but I'm not going to use the one that says this time. I'm just going to use the black 8. Okay, I grabbed that banner, and now I have, my basic idea of how I want this project to come together. As you can see, I had printed my photo on the back of probably some paper that had something else printed on it, and then I just didn't need it. So I always try to reuse my paper, and I save way too many scraps, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know that I want to make a cluster up in the top right corner, but I don't want it so close to where my selfie is that it looks like a cluster is right on top of my head. So I'm gonna have to scoot that chipboard over in just a little bit, because right now I have it positioned right on top of my head and I don't want that. So I have the labels separated, obviously, and then adhered down, and now I want to figure out how I'm going to place everything. I start playing around with the different pieces. I'm going to punch some 1-inch circles so that way I can layer those together and make the various clusters. Really, that is like my go-to, and taking this stash class with Ali Edwards has really helped me. Well, the stash class and also her, I think it's called Start Here class, it's really helped me to kind of embrace repeating designs and repeating things that work for you. So my punches are my go-to. So if I really want to create movement, or I want to use more color or more pattern, or use my stamps more because I can stamp on the circles, I will go for my punches and punch out shapes, and I love it. I do want to get more sizes though, because I feel like I only have 2 sizes. No, 3 sizes. 1.5, which is a scallop shape, so it's not even a regular circle, and then a 2-inch circle. So I'd love to add some more sizes, and then that way I don't have to necessarily rely on my Cameo. Okay, so I'm building my clusters. I have one that's going to be in the top left corner, and I'll pair that with the chipboard 8 and also the chipboard that says Make It Happen. The Brand New Day is going to go at the bottom with 2 other circles that I have. I also want to grab some stamps because I love supporting my projects with the stamps. And I also just love using stamps, finding ways to use my stamps. In this project, I will use my stamps as kind of a title piece. I use it for some pattern clustering to help your eye move around the page. And then third, I will use it as kind of like word strips. So you'll see what I mean in just a little bit. So you can see I did move over that cluster up by the top of my head, and I peeled off just the bottom portion of that tab so that way I could have it stick on the project but not stick up top. Because it's going to go in the second volume of my Me album. The first volume is now done, so I can share that with you guys probably on Saturday. So I'm excited to share that, and I'm so happy that I was able to get 5 months in one album. It'd be great if I could get 6, but I might have been able to. I just didn't want to tempt it. When I completely finish the month of June for 2023, I might see how many layouts I come up with, and then stuff it in the album and see if it can fit, but if it can't, it can't. Okay, so I am stamping some X's. I believe they are from the Right Story Kit stamp. And then I also have a Stories by the Month stamp that is Right Now. I don't think I've stamped that yet, or maybe I have. But the one that I'm stamping right now that says, let's get this adventure started, that's kind of the stamp sentiment that I used as a word sticker phrase. So it's one long sentiment, but I was able to break it up into 2 pieces. Now I'm going to add in my journaling. So in the first box, I just again talked about this being the first full week back, to work, and that I was ready to take this next step. And, even though I knew it was going to be hard, I was ready. And it was hard. I remember being very, very exhausted the first couple of weeks that I went back to work. I also said that I will mainly work in a 2nd grade classroom, and I have a wonderful coworker that I work with, and I absolutely loved working with these kids. And I totally missed working with kids, so I was very happy to be in a position where I get to work with kids because I really enjoy working with kids. And then the third is I said that I'm looking forward to getting to know my coworkers, taking on more responsibilities, learning about each of the kids, and helping to make the teacher's classroom run smoothly and just doing my best. And obviously this is all from the perspective of, thinking back on August and how I was approaching the school year. So adding in a few of the chipboard hearts with the neutral colors, and I really love how this turned out. Turned out fantastic, and I'm glad that I have kind of this first page as an introduction to working. I think this is the first layout I've made about me working in a very, very long time. So I'm excited. I opened up my binder for volume 2 to set it in there because I know exactly where it's going to go. So that is this project, and I love it. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one is of my daughter running free down the hill, just loving being outside. And like I said in the introduction, I had the journaling card that said, "You make me smile when skies are gray," or something like that. And it just reminded me about her name, Sunshine. So I knew that that was going to be an easy project to do, and it was because I could pull the photos very quickly, because she just is so full of joy when she's outside, and life for all of us is a lot better when she can go outside and it's not too hot or too cold. I also really wanted to use these giant circle embellishments at least once because these pieces I have a hard time using. So I was able to put one in the negative space down in the corner of that large photo. And then I pulled out a few other various pieces. Like I have this transparency piece from A Week in the Life kit. I also have a few chipboard pieces. One of them says, "Today You." And I don't know what's going to stay and what's going to go. I also have a variety of hearts, and I decided that the chipboard yellow heart matches much better. I do want something that will bring out the colors of that journaling card much better. I feel like this journaling card has some really bright, bold colors, and I want to pull those out. So I grabbed my newly organized heart drawer, and I was able to find these 2 hearts that are pleather, I want to say. I don't know. But they had the really, really bright colors. I don't remember what story kit they're from, but I found 2 that would work fantastic and coordinate really well. So I can pair one of them over on the left-hand side, and then the other one I can put on the 3x4 card. So that means that I'm going to take away the transparency. I don't need that anymore. So the one that I picked for the left-hand page is kind of this bright orange color, almost neon, but I love it. And then I also have the yellow chipboard. And when I ripped it up, it lost some of its, adhesive backing or like thickness, which I'm totally okay with. A lot of the times I will take some thickness off of my chipboard, and so it doesn't matter to me one way or the other if it lost a little bit of it. I can never let a journaling card, for the most part, be just white. So I had to stamp a little bit on this 3x4 card. I stamped some orange dot circles, and I stamped them so that way they were kind of at the top and then diagonal down to the bottom. of where I was going to place the heart. Then I layered over the top of it the chipboard that says Today You, and below that I stamped Find Joy in the Ordinary. Super simple, but it's, a card I made myself, and I was able to use my stamps, a chipboard piece, and also a heart. I'm going to finish up this page with some journaling. I cannot journal straight to save my life, so I use pencil to kind of guide me. And then that way I can just tell the story of my daughter being outside. And I said one of her, this is one of her favorite places to go. She can run free on the grassy hill full of trees and catch lizards. And then I said, you are just so happy here, absolutely full of joy, which you can tell from the photos she is. And she just loves being able to be independent. So I love this one. It's so pretty.
Right, so I'm going to stop it right there because I felt like the video was getting a little long. So we can call this Stash Projects 1. And I will do a part 2 later on, maybe next week. But I wanted to wrap it up here and show you that it is in my album, this project. And then, of course, the one that I showed you at the beginning, it turned out like this. So I will share it in the next process video. And then my daughter's is right here. I can add this layout into the page protector that I have for it. I just need to buy an album. So hope you guys have enjoyed seeing part 1 of my stash projects and enjoyed seeing these come together. All right, have a great day. Bye.